Hey everyone, Rick here, and folks, welcome back to Caverns of Undeath. We are going to do a playthrough here, a solo playthrough. Two heroes, two adventurers are going to be diving, or should I say delving, into the depths. But not so fast. They have a lot of prep work to do first. We're probably going to be doing some odd jobs, maybe some bounty hunting, just to get some better equipment, level up, and then we'll start seeing how far they make it through the caverns themselves. Let me introduce you to our heroes. First of all, we have Dole, and then we also have Layla. Now, they look really cool right now, just being amazing looking figures. However, they are not so fantastic stat-wise, and they definitely don't have as cool of equipment as they're depicted. Of course, I could have grabbed a couple peasant figures just to show how they may actually look right now, but I just figure it's kind of inspiration. Eventually, we will, in-game, function as cool as we look here. Have a whole bunch of opponents ready at hand. Dry erase board, this is where I'm going to keep track of their stats as well as the day of the week. We have the rules here. I'm going to be pulling out not only the map, but all the tables that we'll be rolling on. And also we're going to find out what their stats are. I'll do that in just a second. But we have everything laid out here. We have the battlegrounds when we battle in the Outer Lands, as well as when we battle within the caverns. And otherwise, everything else is as you see it. We'll be back in just a moment to determine their starting stats. Alright folks, here we go. We've got our starting stats. So the way this works is you split 24 points between 4 attributes: attack, defense, speed, and health. However, based on what classification you are, in this case Dole is a human, whereas Layla is an elf, they do have a benefit to one of the 4 attributes, depending on what you end up being. So Layla, as the elf, got a free point of speed, whereas Dole got a free point of attack. Now you notice Dole's attack's pretty low. So why did Dole choose the attributes he did? Well, he figures early on carrying capacity is going to be a big deal, as well as HP, because let's face it, when all you've got are clothes and a dagger, you're not going to last long against some of these foes. So, just in case something ends up happening to him, a random event, he wanted to definitely have HP to hold off, and defense as well. Now, defense, though, is also carrying capacity. We're not going to call them pounds, but for ease, I may end up slipping up and calling them pounds, but they're just weight units. So, for example, the clothes on Dole's back in weight units is nothing. It's free. He comes clothed, but we're not going to count it against him. So the dagger that he has, though, is half a weight unit. They also come with, both of them, 2 silver coins, though I know the light almost makes them look gold, but no, they are just silver coins, as well as a bedroll. And so we actually have wherever possible, I'm going to want to have physical items, because wherever they are, they're going to want to set up camp. Their bedroll, though, is the cheapest thing possible. During the night phase, you'll notice there's 7 days of the week. Depending on your own group, your own campaign, you may want to, depending on how detailed you want to be, you may want to come up with your own names for the days of the week. But just for this simple playthrough, I'm just going with Sunday through Saturday, 7 days, with a day phase and a night phase, which we will keep track of with this magnet. The night phase of each day is a rest phase, and depending on where they sleep, they may be safe and sound, or they may suffer from a potential night raid, especially if they're carrying goods. But they always come with a bedroll to start out with, and that is also free, weight-wise. However, if they do end up purchasing a campsite or something, that's going to cost them. But so Dole, carrying capacity, he knows he's going to be doing a lot of chopping wood, hunting, harvesting, fishing, mining to get the crops, to sell them in the market, to rake in some more money to get better weapons and armor and stuff. So carrying capacity is going to be a big deal for him. Defense value is also carrying capacity, so that's why he went big there, defense and HP. Layla did something similar. She wanted her HP to be decent, so she went with 7, defense 6. She wanted to go with a little more attack than Dole, though, because Layla, you know, she may be after some bounty quest. She may want to go try to get that guy way over there, the giant in the mountains. You never know. I don't know if she'll be that prudent, like, right off the bat, but we'll see. We have, weapons and armor tables here eventually when we do decide to go ahead and purchase some more of those. Improvement tables for weapons and armor as well. Hell, you can improve what you got. The only thing that can't be improved is clothes. But they could improve their dagger, their little D4 dagger they have here. You have 2 hands, a right and a left. In this, I was going to say obviously, but maybe not. Maybe not obviously. But, so they have a dagger in one hand, a bear hand in the other, and I'm not talking about an actual grizzly bear, of which there is one somewhere over there in those woods. But, neither here nor there. Bare hands, if we can avoid the glare, is also a D4. However, the wound dice are significantly lower. So they have a dagger in one hand, bare hands in the other. When they do attack, they'll get to use both their hands. Benefit of a dagger, though, is that they do have an armor save of 6. We'll get into what all that actually means in a little bit. But I just wanted to say that here we are with the setup for how everyone is equipped with their dagger, clothes, bedrolls, gold, silver, I should say, and what their starting stats are. We're starting day 1 in the day phase, and we'll be back to show off what each of these folks decided to do on day 1. So on your turn, you can do a number of things. There's several above ground areas. There are, of course, each of the various resources has a corresponding area, like the docks for fishing, the plains for hunting and whatnot. But there's other things too. If we didn't want to just carry around a bedroll, potentially getting night raided, we could rent a room at the inn. We could go into town and acquire a quest from the message board. We could go to the wizard's tower to improve our spell skill if we ended up wanting to go the magic route. Is there a wizard in here? Yes, there is. I couldn't remember if I snuck one in there or not. What else? Anything in here? Yeah, so I tried to deck out some of these rooms with interiors, but that little plot of land over there, you notice how empty that is? That is kind of our goal. We want to essentially build a homestead, and it's going to take a lot of money and resources in order to buy the land and then also build the house and build supporting buildings, because once we do get a house over there, and then we can get a fishing pond, we could have our own blacksmith, we could do all sorts of things that each week will generate income for us, so we're not the only ones trying to do that. But anyway, one of the first things, so there's obviously all those different things you can do, and you can do any number of in-town actions like acquiring a quest. You can only acquire one at a time. But we could acquire a quest as well as visit the wizard's tower or the blacksmith if we wanted to, of course. Right now, I think we're just going to focus on trying to make some money before we do anything else. So let's get into making some money. Day 1, let's start with Dole. Of course, if you had multiple players actually playing this, you could decide amongst yourselves who wanted to do what and when. But let's just go with Dole first. So what's Dole doing? Of course, I'm not going to get up and actually walk him over there, should I? Because what I'm going to have him do is fish. We're going to have him fish. Now, our skills at each of these descend the polyhedral die gamut. So it's going to be easier and easier as we do this more and more often. So for example, you're going to try to roll the highest value on each die. And once you do that, that's considered a success. Every natural high valued roll you roll when you're trying to do one of these skills will give you one of the corresponding goods. And if you are successful at least once when you try it out, then the next time you give it a shot, you will move down the chain. So next time, instead of a 1 in 20 chance to catch a fish, you'll have a 1 in 12 chance to catch a fish. You have 30 seconds, which is why my watch is out here for the stopwatch. Normally I use my phone, but I can't do the stopwatch app on my phone while I'm recording. But yeah, let's go ahead and move him over there. So Dole is going over to the docks, and he is going to attempt to fish. And why are you after a particular good? Well, it may depend on how, skillful you are, how many successes you've had. But also the market value. Now, this isn't going to matter here because we can't sell to the market the same day that we accomplish this, because Dole is spending that 30 seconds is Dole all day spending trying to catch a fish, boiled down to 30 seconds, but he can't then rush back to the market the same day. So rolling the market value for these goods right now is just for funsies, because we're not going to know till tomorrow what the value of fish is, and then he can go to the market and sell his fish, and then do whatever else he wants tomorrow. But let's just go ahead and roll these. These are the 5 resource dice. So today, fish is only 2 silver apiece. Wood is 3 silver. Crops are 1 silver. Iron from the mine is 3 silver. And look at that. Meat, if you were a hunter and you had a bunch of meat, 4 silver per piece of meat. So that's what today's are, and I just messed it up already, but it doesn't matter anyway because we can't sell today anyway. However, we are going to start the timer. This is the first time we've ever attempted a skill roll, so we have 30 seconds to roll as many 20s as we can to see how many fish Dole can catch. All right, we're doing this one-handed. Are you ready? I think this is the button. Here we go. All right, 20s. We're looking for 20s. Trying to keep my eye on both the timer and the die. Come on, at least 1. You at least want 1, because then the next time you try, you can move up a die. Oh, come on. Come on. We have 10 seconds left. I know my wrist is blocking the thing. Oh, fudge buckets. And time. Fudge! We totally failed that. All right, that's okay. Let's stop it and clear it. Reset it. All right, there we go. So Dole's action for the day. Well, one of his actions. Yeah, I guess that would be his only action. He could do any other freebie actions, like grabbing a quest as well. I don't know if I want to keep a quest. A quest is good for a week, so we would write the day of the week on his little board when he grabs a quest, when it would expire. So you have to complete a quest within a week. Maybe we will, just to see what one's like. I'm just worried. Well, I guess I'm not worried. I was going to say, he's not ready for a bounty quest or anything like that yet. But he could do an odd job or something. We'll have to see. You know what? Maybe we will, just for fun. All right, but anyway, so he failed. He did not catch anything, which is pretty realistic, right? You're not always going to catch something. All right, well, he failed to catch anything. Let's go ahead and move him back to town. The market's closed, but he can still go to the message boards and find out if there's a quest he wants to nab. And let's find out how questing works. All right, we'll be back in a second to determine what the quests are. All right, folks, Dole ran to the message board, and quests are generated randomly. You roll up quests equal to the number of players plus 2. So in this case, 2 players plus 2 is 4 quests. And we rolled them up. So we rolled an 8. So rolling an 8 means an odd job. So we come down here to odd jobs. And then we rolled a 3. And so an odd job is either going to be a strength test, stamina test, speed test, or charisma test. In this case, we rolled a 3 for speed. And that's all it is. And then you as a player or whatever can embellish that. So this is an odd job that requires a speed test. What could it be? Someone's livestock got loose and you have to run around and go round them up. It doesn't matter what it is. You can come up with the story yourself. The fact of the matter is now, in order to accomplish this speed test, whoever takes it has to roll their speed value or lower on a d20. So you can see at the beginning of the game, that's going to be a little tough. You have about a 1 in 3, 1 in 4 chance of accomplishing that. And then the reward is also randomly rolled after you succeed. So you don't know yet until you accept the quest and fail or succeed. And then you'll find out what the reward was. Because, the award would be based on how fast you were at doing that, for example. But it could be anything. It could have been a charisma test, convince the headsman to not execute someone's relative or something like that. But it'll be one of 4 things. Now, we didn't get them all. There's another category called retrieval, but we got a good mix of the rest of them. So the next one we rolled a 4, which was a bounty quest. Of course, I rolled an 8, so there's a dragon. As you can see, there's a dragon way over there approaching town. We would pop the dragon right in the center of that glary grid and battle the dragon. So for example, here is the bounty quest table, 1 through 8 of what it could be, what the reward would be, the location, if it's soloable or not. So some of these quests, it's not, can I do this by myself? It's, do I have to do this by myself? So the rest of these that say no, you can do them by yourself, or you can have another player help you and split the reward. But if it says solo, like a thief or killing a local bear that's annoying the fisherman or something, then that has to be done solo. And then here's some notes on how you would set up the quest itself. And then the last 2 quests were harvest quests. So the harvest quest means someone just needs a certain amount of something. And so in this case, it was the harvest quest. We rolled that it was crops. How many do they need? 3. How many do they need for this one? It was also crops. In this case, it was 6. They need these by week's end. Of course, that's when the quest time expires. So any of these quests, you can grab just one at a time, but now that these have been rolled, all the other players on their turn can pick one of these. You can pick a quest as a free action. So Dole was the first one to the message board, so he generated the quests. Now he gets first pick of them, and honestly, he's going to go with the speed. So the speed quest has been taken. I'll make a note of that in just a second over here. He can't do the thing now. He already did his main action for the turn was fishing, which he failed miserably at. I was just anxious to do one of these little tests. He probably wouldn't have done that otherwise. He probably would have come to the message board, looked at the quest, and then grabbed one, and then also tried to accomplish it in the same turn. But so next turn during the day phase, he's going to try this speed test. He's going to try to go out there, and one of the local farmers' livestock is just running rampant. They need help rounding them up. He's going to help him do that tomorrow and see if he can. He may not be able to. You only get 1 shot at it as well. So even though it takes a week for the quest to expire, that's a week in which you can give it a shot. Now, if you fail, you don't have the rest of the week to try to do it, because by then it's too late. So we'll see if he can do it tomorrow. Now, let's say Dole is essentially, I think, done. But honestly, this is so fluid. Layla can take her turn now. But if Dole said, I don't want to sleep in a bedroll tonight. I wanted to maybe get a room at the inn or something. He can still do that. That's a free action. He can do that, interrupt Layla's turn and say that he's doing that. Either way, it doesn't really affect anything. These two can, mention what they're doing on their turn. Regardless. So now Layla, she's going to be the smarter of the two, and she's actually going to pick a quest first, and then also see if maybe she can accomplish it. This 3 crop quest is super appealing, because that means she can try the crop thing, and this does not have to be done all at once like the speed test does. She has a week to try to get the 3 crops. And normally, you know, someone going after 3 crops, that doesn't sound like it's that hard. But as we just saw, for someone just starting out, and note that next turn, Dole, when he wants to harvest something, he wants to try to fish again, he has to start back over at a D20 again because he wasn't successful. He didn't get to go down to the next level. Layla is going after this 3 crop quest, and she's going to do that right now. Of course, she may only get a crop this turn, maybe no crops, but she has a week to get the 3 crops. Why would you even want to do one of these harvest quests? Because the reward is the current market value as of the date of when the quest is completed, plus a silver each. So no matter what the market value is, it's an additional silver per crop. So why would you ever not do one of these? Why would you ever not do a harvest quest and ever go out there and get supplies on your own? Well, of course, number 1, there may not be any harvest quests out there. Number 2, the market value may be so poor, or maybe your skill is just way better at something that these harvest quests aren't there for. Or you can also just quest for these food items because you can eat them and restore your health when you're below ground. Camping at night restores your health when you're above ground. But you also need building materials to build your homestead. So some of these items you may not want to give up. You may be trying to get them for yourself, whereas these harvest quests, you have to give up the stuff. All right, anyway, I'm going to make a note of the quest that they chose, and then Layla, still on day 1, is going to give that crop harvest quest a shot. All right, and we are back. We have the speed quest, and we marked down that it's Sunday harvest quest. I didn't even put the T on harvest. It's just a harvest quest. 3 crops by Sunday. That's just to denote that Saturday night these quests are going to expire, so they have to do it by then. All right, here we go. We are going to roll to see if Layla gets any crops here. So, and why did I pick the 3 crop quest and not the 6? Because, you know, she's still new. I don't know if she could get to 6 in a week's time. Maybe she could, maybe she couldn't. I don't know. But I went with the 3 just because hopefully that's a more guaranteed thing. All right, here we go. Are you ready? 30 seconds starting now. Looking for... Oh my god, our first roll, she got one. Are you kidding me? Dole is fuming right now. Can she get a second one? Can she complete the quest in a single turn? Oh my gosh. I'm like looking at the camera, looking at the time, and looking at the die, so hopefully I don't miss anything. We have about 5 seconds left. One more crop. Come on, come on, come on. 2, 1, no. All right. She was successful. Can you believe it? Her first roll, nat 20, she got a crop. Now these tokens are adorable, but they're for board games. I posted a video review about these if you want to know where to find them and stuff. Crops can be anything, wheat, whatever you want to do. These are just little corn tokens. Boom. Crops are worth, are weight, or all the resources are weighted as well. 0.1, so a 1/10 of a weight unit is what those weigh. So now with her dagger and with this crop, she now has an encumbrance of 0.6. Not bad, right? So when you start really getting, of course, that's only because they're wearing clothes. They have a dagger, you know. Once you start getting some of this heavier equipment, oh my gosh, you got to pay closer attention to that. But she got a crop, which means next time when she tries to harvest crops, that's right, she's going to be able to roll a D12. 1 in 12 chance instead of a 1 in 20 chance. All right, fantastic. So that was, does Layla want to do anything else? She did her free action, which was to grab a quest, or she did one of her free actions, which was to grab a quest. Her main action was to try to harvest the crops. The only other free action that I think they can do, honestly, is because they don't really want to improve anything just yet. Because they can do any of the main actions, which they've already done. Market, buy or sell, which is the main action. Rent a room at the inn, acquire quests, or learn improve skills or armor or weapons. So Either of them could now rent a room at the inn if they wanted to. Why? Because if you're just camping in your bedroll, you have a chance at a night raid. So that would be bandits raid your little campsite at night. And that would not be a fun time. But if we rented a room at an inn, there's 2 rates. A day, just for 1 day or night is a silver, or weekly is a gold. So I don't know if I said, but 5 silver equals a gold. You could, of course, also purchase a townhome. So if we didn't want a homestead, but we wanted a townhome, that would be nice. You just own it right out. And then, so why would, again, you want to do that? Well, because tonight we're going to go to sleep, and she has crops that could be stolen. Dole doesn't give 2 craps. He has nothing except a couple silver that could be raided. So he's fine just camping out. Does Layla want to spend a silver to spend the night in the inn to ensure that her crop is not raided? Honestly, no. That's not even a question. We're not going to spend a silver to save a crop. I mean, I don't know. Maybe in some bizarro land you would do that. But no, we're moving on to the night phase now. We're not going to spend any silver to stay at the inn. So now where are our heroes going to stay? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't move Layla to the... when she was harvesting crops, she would have like gone over here or whatever, you know. Like, just think of this as a huge game board, just a visual representation of where your players are. Well, now our players are camping out, and you know what? They do like each other enough that they're going to camp together. And that's good, because you're only going to roll once for a night raid now. So here's our little campsite. Of course, you can deck this out. I could go grab my WizKids encampment stuff and grab a little campfire and all that jazz, but so there they are camping out. It's nighttime. Now we roll to see if we are raided by bandits. So we have rules. We have the raid rules here on campsite, but they also apply to the bedroll as well. So for a night raid, so unattended day raid, if we had a campsite and we left to go do other things, it could be an unattended day raid. So we definitely want to make sure Layla holds on to her crops and carries them around with her, because we don't want to leave them out there. But a night raid, we roll a d6. A 1 or a 2 is a yes, and a 3 through 6 is a no. Watch us get night raided on our very first night. Okay, so we got night raided. That means we are going to have 2 bandits. So for a night raid, combat with 2 bandits, no possibility of aid from another player unless we are camping together, which we are. So it's basically like if we did not agree to camp together, you're somewhere else. You're not getting in time to come help me, because this is going to be a quick little one-off thing. Let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to set up what a night raid, bandit raid looks like, and we'll be right back. Okay, here is the bandit raid setup. I thought it was kind of cool that randomly, because you start out with the players in the center 4 spaces, and then I just put their bedrolls next to them. Thought it was cool that they were right next to a hedge, kind of like they were using it for some kind of protection. The other terrain items randomly rolled, was a tree and a hedge way over there and a little tree way over there. So it's mostly wide open. So maybe they didn't quite pick the best place to camp. But the way this works is you just... Where's my D12 at? Oh, here it is. So you roll column first, so 1 through 12, and then row next 1 through 12. So, you know, there would be a 10 and a 4. So whatever you were looking at would be here, right there. So then you also randomly deploy the bandits. In this case, a bandit raid, there's 2 bandits, and that's where they started. And of course, Layla's telling Dole, God, I told you we should have taken a room at the inn. And now we engage in combat. Initiative order means we're going to roll a d6 for everybody and add our speed values. So here's a die for black is Dole, green is Layla. Their speeds are both 6, so we'll add this to that. So Dole ends up with an initiative of 8, and Layla ends up with initiative of 10. The bandit, oh God, my hand's in the way. The bandit speed value is also a 6. So let's roll for the northernmost bandit first. 6 plus a 3. So that'll be a 9. And then also, oh my gosh. So this one's going first. And, you know, normally I would note this down, but everyone has the same speed value of 6. So we'll just go in numerical die order. So this bandit will act first, then Layla, then that bandit, and then finally Dole. And we'll see how this works. So you get 2 actions a turn. Well, the opponents do. Move and attack. And you can do those in any order. Heroes have 1 extra possible action, which is to swap equipment. So if they had a shield and a bow and arrow, they could, you know, shoot with their bow until they get caught up in melee, then use an action to swap their equipment to grab their shield and dagger or whatever the case may be. Opposing units don't do that. Just another quick note on combat. There is an AI for the opponents, and it's very simple. Right here, I think it is. So opponents will follow this order. So first, range targeting closest opponent, next lowest HP, roll off ties, or move until range. And of course, these 2 bandits don't have range attacks, so they'll just be following this. Melee targeting the closest first, then lowest HP, roll off ties, and if they aren't close to anybody where they could melee, then move until adjacent. So just keep moving, keep moving. Speed on a bandit is 6. We already decided. So who is closest to this bandit? And you move orthogonally, not diagonally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like it's actually tied, because then there would be, you know, 7, 8 or 7, 8. He probably would not go right in the center there, unless that was closest. Would he really do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, or 7, 8. Well, let's see. Who breaks the tie here? It's lower HP. They haven't been wounded yet, but Layla does technically have the lower HP, so he would go after her first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So that's what he's going to do. First action, move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second action, 1, 2. So he used both of his actions moving, so he doesn't get a second action to close combat. Now it is Layla's turn, as a matter of fact. So here's how an attack works. Your weapon. She only has a dagger right now, a D4 dagger. First, we have to see if it hits. She adds her attack value to the result of a D4. Now you may be saying, God, a D4? Well, highest value rolled on a dice explodes. So if she rolls a 4, this will explode. You get to keep rolling it until you quit rolling 4s. That way, you know, it's not, oh my God, some of these defense values could be higher than, you know, a 10, which would be a 4 plus 6 anyway. Okay, so let's see, first of all, if Layla hits this guy. So a 6 plus whatever this is, and it is a 4, so there's 10. 10 plus 2, we'll say. So that's a 12. So she rolls a 12. The bandit can try to defend against that. Defense value for the bandit is a 6, and their armor is going to be a d6. So here we go. We're going to roll a 6 plus a 6. So basically, it needs to roll a 6 here, otherwise she will hit. And it only rolls a 4, so 6 plus a 4 is a 10, so her 12 beats the 10, which means her attack gets through, and now she can see if she wounds it. So with a dagger, wound dice are 4d6, hitting on 6s. Ooh, that may not be... You're probably not going to hit too often, but we'll find out. Of course, this is a dagger that's been unmodified. Eventually, we can sharpen this dagger. We can add more wound dice. So instead of 4, we would add even more wound dice. Or we could temper it, which would increase the attack or defense, or the die level. So it would go up to a D6 instead of a D4. And we could temper it all the way up to a D20. We could even hone it, which increases the wound roll. So instead of rolling for wounds on 6s, it could be 5 plus, 4 plus, etc. And of course, there's so many other things you can do. You can enchant the weapon, make it so that natural 6s explode on your wound dice, or pairs explode on your wound dice, or, you know, or your attack die, you can re-roll it, or you get an extra attack die, roll both and keep the higher. So you could be rolling 2d4. Where's my other d4? I keep losing things over here. So you'd be rolling 2d4 and keep the higher. But anyway, her poor damn dagger. Night 1! We got Bandit raided on night 1. She has the crappiest pot. She has her starting equipment and she's being raided by bandits. She has 4 dice. She only hits on 6s. And I am not even rolling in this dice tray anyway. Oh my god. How the hell did she manage to pull that off? A pair of 6s. So she actually does wound twice, potentially. Now the bandit gets an The bandit does not get an armor save. The bandit's just kind of a lowly fella there. The armor save would be in parentheses. There is no armor save. The bandit only has 2 HP. Layla, she's like, you fucking woke me up for what? And then she just, with her dagger, cha. And you know what? She still had her bare hand to attack with too. And, but she killed him just with the dagger alone. Unbelievable. Good night to that bandit. So what does that mean? Ooh. First of all, she gets 2 experience points, which we are going to track with these skull tokens. So we'll just put those there. She has 2 XP. What does that mean? Your current level plus 10, you go up a level when you get that. So she's level 0. They're both level 0. So in order to level up, she needs 10 XP. She has her first 2. When she does level up, she gets to add 1 to one of these values there. That's how those values increase, is when you level up like that. So she's already on her way, but not only that, she gets D4 loot in silver, and let's find out how much silver she pillaged off this poor guy's body. 1. Oh, man. Well, I mean, God, I'll be honest. She was super lucky to one-shot that bandit. So, boom, here is her silver. We'll add that right there. And we'll move that carcass off the battlefield. You could leave it there for fun, but it doesn't block movement or anything like that. So then next, we are moving to this bandit over here, who's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he gets there in 1 movement, which means he's going to be able to attack right now with his second action. So a bandit's attack is a 6 plus a d8. So let's find out what this guy rolls. I should be rolling. I got these red dice out specifically for the bad guys. A d8. Ooh, so instead of a 6 plus a d4, it's a 6 plus a d8. Because these we're level 0. Okay. 6. Thank God it didn't explode. So a 6 plus a 6 means he just rolled a 12. Oh, Layla. This is not going to be good for you, because she has a defense value of 6, but she only has clothing on, which means she's only rolling a d4, and she also has no armor save. That means she needs this to explode, because if she rolls a 3 plus 6 is only a 9, she needs a 12. So she needs this to be a 4 to get to 10. And then she needs to also then roll a 2, because you need to equal or exceed the attack roll. So first of all, let's see if we can get a 4 again. Are you kidding me? Layla, you fiend! Unreal! Now, if this is anything but a 1, she blocked it. No! God, why every time I call out a number? Oh boy. So she was so effing close. Are you kidding me? That's insane. So unfortunately the bandit does hit. So the wound dice for the bandit are going to be 4d6 wounding on 5s or more. So it's a little bit better than her dagger, which wounded on 6s. So this bandit gets 4 dice wounding on 5s or better. Whew, she lucked out. Only one got through, so that is going to be a single wound. And of course, I think that's the one thing that I do not have out here are wound counters. But we'll just make a note. Right around here, we'll say just wound. I'm going to go grab some wound counters in a second. But now she has taken a wound. You can eat food as a free action or use a potion. We don't have any potions. We literally just began the game. She could eat this food to restore, 10% of your max health. But no, she's on a quest, so she's not going to eat that corn, and it's only a wound. Okay, but now it's Dole's turn. Dole's like, oh my gosh, I'm so PO'd. So Bandit went and did his thing. Layla almost came away from that unscathed. Dole goes 1, 2. And now, you know what? Technically, Layla had a second action. Oh, it's hard for me to like play, record, and talk at the same time. Layla probably would have moved with her second action so that she was not in this guy's range and he would have had to, take the long way around to get to her or whatever. I guess technically he would have gone 1 because he was within 4 of her or 5 of her? I can't remember. 5 maybe. So yeah, he probably couldn't have gotten to Dole anyway, because you cannot attack diagonally. But it doesn't matter. I was just going to say Dole would then probably have been the closest. But anywho, that's fine. She passed with her second action essentially. Actually, what she would have done is braced herself, because you can brace yourself to forego one of your actions to brace yourself to get a boost on defense. That way, you pass one of your actions because you're going to get hit, and so you brace yourself for that hit, and it kind of boosts your defense. But I am forgetting all that kind of stuff. So now, though, Dole has used his first action to move. It's going to be a repeat of what we just saw. We're going to roll his dagger. Oh, God. See, unfortunately, I know he looks so freaking cool, but we gave him a really bad attack value because we did not think we'd be attacking right now. Oh, boy. So a 4 plus whatever this is. A 2. So that's a 6. Oh, God. The bandit's defense value is a 6. So that doesn't mean anything. The bandit rolls a d6. An attack will still get through if this ends up being a natural 1 on the defense roll. This bandit could still take a shot if he rolls a 1. Nope, rolled a 5. So that's an 11 to, what was that? Ended up being a 6. So no, Dole's attack missed, unfortunately. Expectedly, I guess I should say. And then we move back to, so that was a oh no, yep, we did, everybody. So now we start over with highest initiative, which is Layla. So now Layla's going to take another shot. Oh God, she's going to get 2 shots. Don't let me forget that, you guys, that she gets 2 actions. So she's going to get 2 shots here, and she has her, we're not done with Dole yet. He used his dagger, but not his bare hand. Let's see if he hits with his bare hand. Oh, God. A 1. Oh, automatic miss. Lowest value on a die for attack or defense is either an automatic miss with your weapon or an automatic the attack gets through if you rolled that in defense. So bare hands, no, he did nothing with his bare hand. So now Layla, she gets 2 shots, both with her dagger and her bare hand. I guess we can roll them at the same time. So we'll say that the green die is her dagger, the black die is bare hands. And this is a 6 plus, oh, look at that. The bare hands got through with the 4. Another 4. Oh my God, that's 8 plus 6 is 14. 15. She rolled a 15 with her bare hand, and her dagger ends up being an 8. So the defense value for this guy is this d6. So first, let's see if he can block the dagger with an 8. So he needs a 2 or more. He did. He blocked it with a 2. And, oh God, I keep forgetting things because I forgot that with having a dagger, she actually does have an armor save of 6. So she should have got a chance to block his attack last turn on a 6. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Now let's see if he can get a 15, which means he's going to need to roll a 6 here. And he does not. So that's a 10. So the bare hands gets through, which is actually a damn shame because, God, what the hell's under this table? Oh, it's a junior kraken. I forgot I dropped him earlier. Okay, so the bare hands gets through, which is a damn shame because bare hands is only 2d6. Hitting on 6s, is there a chance that she can wound this guy? On a 6, no, pair of 2s. So that will miss. She did not wound him. That was only her first attack, though. Here's her second attack. Same situation. Dagger, bare hands. Oh, pathetic. That was not good. So the dagger automatically missed. The bare hands is only an 8. So 2 or better to block it, and he does. So unfortunately, Layla did not do anything this turn. I mean, she had a spectacular first turn, though. All right, so now it is the bandit's turn. Who does he target? Targets the one with the least health. That is Layla. She only has 6 health now. So, as we see, bandit is going to be rolling a d6 plus a 6 plus this d8. Let's see what he rolls against Layla. So that's a 5. So that's an 11. So Layla, rolling this pathetic d4 plus 6, means she needs a 4 here. No, damn it. So that means his attack gets through. He does roll 4d6, hitting on 5s, but don't forget, we have a parry save on 6s. Oh my gosh, look at that. He just clobbered Layla with a 6 and 2 5. So that's 3 potential wounds. Layla, with her parry dagger, can parry these on 6s. Not a single 6. Oh, yikes. That took a huge chunk out of her. So that is now 4 total wounds. Good Lord. Who knew he would roll that many 5s and 6s? And he gets another shot. Oh, God. She has 3 HP left. We can't have him do this that good again. So 6 plus. Oh, no. It exploded. Oh, geez, Louise. That's a 20. 6, 6, and 8 is 20. She's going to need this to be a 4 like 1,000 times. Oh my gosh, well, you had to start somewhere. She rolled a 4. She's going to need 3 more. Well, she's going to need at least 2 more of those. Nope, that's where it ends. All right, so again, 46, hitting on 5s or more. Jeez, well, at least he's not going to kill her. So, pair of 6s means she's going to roll to see if she can parry any of these on 6s. Nope, 1 and a 5. 2 more wounds. We need to kill this guy because now she is down to 1 HP left. Is she going to eat her corn? Oh my gosh, she may have to eat her crops. She was questing for those crops. And now she may end up having to eat them just to stay alive. Well, not necessarily. She can run. She can back away and run for the hills, which she may end up doing. Because now, whose turn is it now? It is Dole's turn. And then it'll be Layla again. So we got back-to-back heroes here. Oh, God. Here we go. So, Dole. And, of course, we forgot things along the way. I'm sorry. I just am so scatterbrained. Okay, so here we go. Dole's going to do the same thing. This time, though, the black die is going to be his dagger. The green die is going to be his bare hands. But unfortunately, he's only attack value of 4. So let's see what he can do. Oh, look at that. His dagger exploded. 4. Plus 3 is 7. Plus 4 is an 11. So he just rolled an 11 with his dagger. Missed with his bare hand. So let's see what this guy can do in defense. These are wound dice. These are the dice I should be rolling for defense for that guy, even though they're both d6s. Bandit, in defense, d6 plus a d6, which means this bandit needs a 5 or better to block Dole. Oh, he only rolled a 2! Dole has a shot here. Dole, 4 dice. These have to be 6s or better, though. God, I'm telling you. We were not prepared for this. We didn't do anything special to our weapons. We have 4 dice. We need 6s. And we rolled a 6. Thank Christ. Okay, so we roll a 6. And don't forget, the bandit has no armor save. That is a wound on the bandit. Let's put a skull there. And that was, I believe... Fudge, I can't remember now. Was that his first or his second attack? I think that was just his first. Either way, you know, I think we forgot to do his second one before, so... Okay, I think that was just his first, though. Same situation. Dagger, bare hands. Here's his second attack. Oh my gosh, his dagger exploded again. Oh my gosh, his dagger exploded again. He's up to a 12. 4 base value plus 4 plus 4, so he's up to a 12. Holy cow, he's up to a 16. Holy cow, he's up to a 20. Are you kidding me? This is wild. 22. He just rolled a 22. Oh my good God. Okay, so that means the bandit is going to have to explode this 6 like 1,000 times. And he doesn't. So Dole hits. My God, he really hit. It's not a rule, but honestly, I should implement something where if you explode that many times, your wound dice should have like a +1 or something to them, because it kind of is pathetic where that die exploded, and now we still need 6s. So we'll see. He only has to do 1 more wound. Do we have a single 6 in these 4 dice? Honestly, I don't like our odds. We do! Oh my God, he did it! Dole did it! Are you kidding me? They are pissed as hell. They said, how dare you raid us in our sleep, you crusty old bandit. Oh my gosh. Okay. Whew. That means Dole now has 2 XP. Dole also gets to loot the corpse. How much silver? 3 silver for Dole. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is insane. Dole now has a gold. Oh my gosh, he made it up. Let's cash it in. Let's see what a gold looks like. He's got a fat stack of 5 silver. That means he now has a gold. Oh my gosh, that could not have... For a video trying to demonstrate how this works, that honestly, I don't know why these skulls don't want to stay like this. That could not have been any better. Oh my gosh, look at the carnage. They did it. They killed those 2 bandits, those freaking bandits. The good news is that's it. They are going back to sleep. They are resting. And for resting, we'll heal back up to full. So it's honestly just kind of one of those situations where, yeah, it was a nuisance. Yeah, they could have killed Layla. They didn't kill Layla. So they are back. So I'll deal with all that housekeeping stuff later. We got a bunch of loot and items. Oh my gosh, that was the night phase for Sunday. No, they don't heal. If this was a situation where they went to sleep and they were not raided, that heals full health. But a raid means now Layla goes into the day phase with only a single wound left. So now in her day phase, she has some options that she can maybe get a potion or something, or rent a room at the inn for a single gold that will ensure that she is not night raided and will heal herself back to full. So she may want to do that. She may opt to doing that. All right, anyway, let's reset this and we'll be back because now night phase is over. It is now day 2. My God, what a day 1. Okay, folks, it is the next day. Oh my gosh, what a night. The night phase was more eventful than the day phase. All right, but we know what we're doing today. I guess I can get rid of these initiative dice. Because Layla, who isn't feeling too hot, who's probably going to rent a room at the inn tonight, is going to try to harvest more crops. She only needs 2 more crops to fulfill that quest. So she's going to give it a shot. And now, since she was successful the first time, she moves on to level 2. She now gets to roll a d12 to try to get more crops. All right, here we go. We're going to give it 30 seconds. This is her main action of the turn. starting now. Needing 12s. 4, 6, 2, 2, 7, 8. Come on. 8, 5, 7. There's one. We got one. We got one. 15 seconds left. Do we have another one in? Oh, we got it. We got 2. We got him. We got him. We got him. Can we get 3? Can we get a surplus? Oh, we got 3. Oh my gosh. Layla is a crop harvesting fiend. And that's time. OMG, folks. OMG. She now has 4 crops. Okay, so we got to keep this in real time. That's 3 points more. So she's now at 0.9 encumbrance. It's important to keep up on that. Can you believe it? So now as a supplementary action, she can go turn those in and complete the quest. Let's go ahead and move over to Dole, though, before we do that. Because Dole was going to try this speed quest, don't forget. He's going to try, and I know, I'm sorry, I should be like picking him up and moving him, because obviously when you're playing the game with other people, you're more standing most of the time, not just sitting there. So he is like chasing after these livestock. Let's say these pickens. That's a pig chicken hybrid, a picken. So he's chasing the pickens, and she just harvested some crops. So there we are on our huge game board. He's going to try this speed test now, and I don't know if it'll end up going well for him because he needs to roll a 6 or less for a speed test. 6 or less on a D20. Oh God, I forgot to turn this timer off. Okay, here we go. 6 or less. Is he successful? He is! Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Good job, Dole. Oh, I wasn't even prepared for him to be successful. How do we determine what the reward is for that? Okay, odd jobs. Reward for an odd job is randomly generated with a D6 plus 2 in silver after the player succeeds. Okay, here we go. D6 plus 2. So he's guaranteed to get 2 silver for that, plus whatever this is. Wait, do these explode? I can't imagine they do. No, I don't see anything about them exploding. Okay, here we go. 4, not bad. That's 6 silver. Holy cow, that's a gold and a silver, that means. Look at this. We are absolutely going to be purchasing new items, new equipment with all our newfound wealth. Layla now wants to turn in her crops. So what was the situation? Oh, we have to determine market value. Where are all the market dice? Am I like blind? Oh, they're right here. We don't need to really roll them all. We're just interested in the value of the green one because Layla, you know what? She may not want to turn them in today. You know, I didn't think of that. What if the market value for these is really shitty? She may want to hold on to it. Well, let's find out. Oh my God, it's a 4! Folks, sometimes we have the worst luck. Sometimes we have the absolute best luck. So she's also going to turn in this other freebie one too. Well, no, she can't. She cannot turn in this one because, remember, you can't sell the same day you harvest. But you can, that's kind of the benefit of doing it the quest route, because you can complete a quest on the same turn. God, I think so, for a harvest quest. Let me take a look. Okay, yeah. So simply returning to town is enough to warrant the quest fulfilled. All right, perfect. Assuming they aren't stolen. Yeah, exactly. Those freaking bandits. So she's going to have one. She's going to sell tomorrow, which sucks because it's at 4 silver right now. But look at this. She's turning in these 3. And the harvest quest is current market value plus 1 each. That's 5 silver apiece. That's 3 gold coins. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Look at this. 2 gold and a silver, 3 gold, plus, you know, I should be making a note of the fact that she is now up to, for harvesting, she is up to a D10. So I need you, because obviously, you know, next turn I could forget, but she was successful on a D12, so now she moves to a D10 if she ever wants to harvest crops again. Of course, that means if she ever wants to mine or fish or whatever, she starts back over at a D20. Oh my gosh. I know you may be thinking, oh my gosh, look at all that wealth. Believe me, this is nothing. We are so far off from a lot of things, but now we can go shopping. We can get so much better weapons. Well, I guess not too terribly much better weapons, but we could get a better weapon. We could get better armor. Okay, I have a lot to process, so I'll do that and I'll probably come back. Is there anything else I want to? Well, I'll do that and I'll come back in just a sec. Okay, folks, we went on a shopping spree. So here's what we did. Dole, who really needs better attack value, spent his 2 gold on a sword. So now the sword gives him a D6 instead of a D4, and it's 8d6 wounds. Still on 6s though, to wound, but it's 8d6. That's pretty insane. He still gets to keep the dagger as an active weapon as well. So he's rolling both on his attacks, his dagger and his sword, and he still has the dagger for parry saves. Layla, after nearly being killed, essentially, she spent 2 gold as well. She spent them both on hide armor. So now she's rolling a d6 for her defense die, and now she also gets armor saves on not only 6s but 5s. So armor saves stack. So as long as she still has her dagger as an active weapon when someone attacks her, her parry armor save of 6 stacks with her hide armor save of 6 to make it a 5+. So now she's, you know, blocking wounds on a 5+. So she focused on defense. Dole focused on attack. They both updated their weight that they're carrying, compensating for the 3 crops she sold and her new hide armor. And the sword, each was a 1 weight unit apiece. So that's what their stats look like. They also rushed to the marketplace to grab a quest for tomorrow. So here are the quests that we rolled up. Odd job, stamina. So I think it gives, and I say it as if I didn't write this down myself, but I gave some examples of what like a stamina quest might be. So stamina tests are assisting townsfolk by carrying heavy sacks of grain from the farms to the market, or assisting the blacksmith by hammering at the forge for hours on end. And we actually rolled 2 identical quests, 2 of these stamina quests. So stamina is going to be the defense value. So Dole may very well want to go for that one since his defense is 7. So he'd only have to roll a 7 or less for that. Bounty quest. We rolled dryads. So there are dryads in the marsh. Now it would be 1 dryad per figure. Is that going to focus? Kind of there. 1 dryad per adventurer. So if let's say Dole accepted the dryads in the marsh quest, he could have Layla accompany him, and then there would be 2 dryads instead of just 1, but the rewards would double too potentially. And then lastly, we also have another harvest quest, but this time it's 11 wood. You have to be chopping wood for ages to get to 11, but technically you could also buy it. The market price is not just for selling, but also for buying those goods. And that's because if you wanted to buy a homestead and you didn't want to chop the wood or mine the iron and you had a lot of money, you could go buy that stuff or buy food to replenish your health while you're underground. So you could buy some of that 11 wood. You know, if it was cheap, keep an eye on the market. If it's cheap, buy it cheap, and then you can sell it when you complete the quest later for big bucks. So these are the current quests. A dryad is, I would say, too strong for our heroes to think about doing right now. A dryad is way down here. And their stats are pretty packed. So the Dryad, look at that. 10 plus a D8 attack value. So, I mean, the bandits were enough of a handful. We're probably going to avoid the Dryads. So, who I think, honestly, out of they probably don't want to do the wood or the Dryads. I think for tomorrow, because of course they've done their action for today, they're both going to do these stamina. God, my handwriting's terrible. We're going to make a note that they're both doing stamina quests. Well, potentially not necessarily tomorrow. They may keep that. We'll see what tomorrow's quests bring. But that's how things are looking. And I mean, here we go. She is so close to another gold. What Layla wants to do with another gold is either get a hand axe, which would be a fantastic weapon, or a bow or crossbow. I keep forgetting about this kind of stuff. She's far off from getting a ranged weapon. She may want to save up for that, but the magic staff, 2 gold, it unlocks all of this. Magic works in a very unique way. Instead, you will, depending on what level of magician you are, which costs, you train with the wizard, there is an attack die. That's how you determine your attack die. So you always have a magic staff, but then your attack dice determine what level of magic ability you have, which also may allow you to cast more than one spell or re-roll your attack dice. And then instead of rolling wound dice, you roll a number of dice equal to your attack value. So in this case, Layla would roll 6 dice, and then you see what spell you cast. Kind of a die allocation mechanic. 2 pair would be a vortex, a full house would be Gaia shards, and then the wounds, you roll a single polyhedral die to determine how many wounds you do. Still have the potential armor saves of your opponent, but that is, I just freaking love how magic works in that instance. But I don't know, maybe she does that, or I mean, look at all these different runes you could add to your weapons. I was like, oh my gosh, with 2 gold, you could unlock any of those runes. But of course, we're still saving up to build a homestead. But there's all these weapons, improving the weapons and armor even. But either way, she's going to be potentially selling this crop tomorrow, depending on what the market value is. But in the meantime, they are both going to spend a silver. I don't know, is Dole going to spend a silver? Yeah, Dole's going to spend his last silver. That way, they are renting a room at the inn, both of them. So, and I cheated, I did not put them in the market as they were accepting their quests. But now it is nighttime, and it is time to go to sleep. So we'll lift this up. I mean, there's beds in there and stuff. We could put them in there. Let's just say they're in there. They're renting a room at the inn where they have no worries of being raided by bandits when they're renting a room at the inn. So it costs 1 silver to rent a night at the inn. All right, and then that is the night phase. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Was there anything else I wanted them to do? No, they bought their weapons. They did their quest for the day. They got the new quest for tomorrow. So then that was day 2. And night 2, nothing eventful happened at night when they're in a room at the inn. It is now day 3. And folks, this was already over an hour. You can see, hopefully, how quick turns... I know, when I say it's over an hour and how quick turns go. But think, if I'm not talking, explaining the whole time, think how fast, you're just grab a quest. Okay, roll up. Here's a quest. Which one do you want to do? Let's roll to see. You have 30 seconds to do these, or a single die roll for a stamina quest, for example. So would they get the stamina quest for Dole tomorrow, the next day, 7 or less? No, he didn't get it. Did Layla? Nope, she didn't. But they may not have even done those quests, honestly, depending on what the next day's quests were. But also, what would the crops be selling for today? 1? Yeah, she's going to be holding on to that crop, I think. But I think hopefully you can get, first of all, just how freaking fun, how much fun that I have even just doing this by myself. But imagine you have multiple people kind of doing their own thing, going on quests. Hey, come help me with this bounty. Or hey, come camp with me tonight because I'm afraid of getting raided by bandits. And you do all this stuff, you do all these quests, and then we haven't even gotten to this yet. Essentially, when everyone's ready, let's go down into the depths. And depending on which section of the cavern you're in, there's going to be different categories, and I kind of have it there. I don't know if you can quite see it. I have it all separated by sections, so there's 8 different sections, and depending on what section you're in, here is what would spawn there. In the dungeon storeroom, area 1, ghosts. Area 2, zombies, archers, skeletons. Depending on how many people are in the party, roll for which ones there are, all the way. And then also the water sections there at the bottom. You might get a kraken, eek! And it's the same kind of battle mechanic here. So you move on the grid, your movement spaces, and the slowest member of the party, slowest speed, as soon as you hit that amount twice, so they get both their speed. So if you have a speed of 6, you can move 12 spaces. At the end of the 12th space, it's time for an encounter. Depending on where you are is the enemies you face, and then you get an encounter. And then it's back up here. Move 12 more spaces or whatever the case may be. There's a boss for each section. The area bosses here, all these bosses, their stats are kind of identical. They all have different special abilities though, but they all will give you something, a piece of the puzzle to unlock the next area or whatever the case may be. But you summon the boss at your leisure. You come down here and fight the minions for a while, level up, and then when you're ready, then you summon that area's boss, for example. One other thing I wanted to mention we never even got to look at were the retrieval quests. We didn't see any retrieval quests, but here's what it is. You would roll a d8 to determine which area the item was in. What the reward would be depends on which area it's in, because obviously the further away it is, the more reward there's going to be, and what object it is. The object thing is just kind of for theme. So you would roll, and I wrote this there, please help, I've left my d20 in the d8, because you would roll to see the d8 would be the area, the d20 would be the item. So a 19 d8 is, so you actually wouldn't roll a d20 for this. This was the hunt for slime maggots. 7 and 8 is hunt for arcane mushrooms or hunt for slime maggots. A 19 though would have been a spouse. Oh my gosh, I've left my spouse in the campsite or in the tall stalagmite or whatever. Because I have this little dish of all these little things that it could have been. Help, I've left my child in the catacombs. And here is the little child that you would put in the designated area and then have to go get them and bring them out safely. Or, I left my priceless family heirloom down there. Or, oh no, this corpse. So there's all these little things that could be somewhere in there that you'd have to go retrieve. But the arcane mushrooms and the slime maggots thing, the reward depends on how many of those you actually get. But they're hidden under here. You have to kind of know where they are. So there's slime maggots under there, for instance. And of course, it's not like I'm a player too, so I would tell the players where they are, but I just have those little areas there to kind of show like where they are. So here are mushrooms. There's mushrooms all over the place. So you would just step adjacent to the mushroom and collect the mushroom. And they regrow after a day or whatever. And then here I think is another slime maggot thing. Yeah. And it's easy to find those, honestly, because they do look a little different. But you can also use this magnet, because the tops are magnetic, to kind of pull them up. Oops. So like, for example, that's one there. Slime maggots. Because you never know, a wizard needs the pus from a slime maggot. But yeah, so, depending on who you fight, like these Dracoliches each give you one of these decapitated witch heads, because they will stick on these rocks here and unlock the ability to go into here. Or the corpse vomited out of the zombie T-Rex has an amulet or something to then, there's so many things. I have them all written down. But yeah, every boss gives you some piece of the puzzle, and eventually you'll fight this guy who, underneath of which has a little portal that you may need to drop something into it. None of this is secret. I'm acting like it's a secret, but you would know what you need to drop in there, which would then take you to the catacombs. And upon completion of the whole thing, which, God, does that not seem like it would take forever? You would get a massive reward. But again, our kind of above ground goal right now is to get a homestead so we can start producing crops. I don't know why I left that blank. I should have brought out some stuff. I think I had one out in my earlier video. But essentially what we would do here, once we pay the 8 gold for the land, then we need, what was it, 6 wood and 6 iron for the actual homestead. You know, you can come in here and grab whatever home building you want for your home, and then you can get like a little blacksmith, or what else? I had a whole bunch of things here. Or a field of your own for crops. Or you start out, though, with some trees mimicking a forest so that you could automatically start generating meat, hunting revenue from meat sales. But you would be able to get all 5 of the various things. Once you have your homestead going, and then you're generating gold, then you can really start accruing, the better weapons and armor and everything, and taking some of the more dangerous bounties, and then really starting to go down here. But as you can see, over session, I don't know, maybe a good game night might be 1 full week. 1 7-day a night week. And then maybe after a couple weeks, or I don't know, maybe after your first session, your first full week session, getting all the stuff, then I think you'd probably be ready to start coming down here. But it's really cool how it works like that as a campaign, and you can, adjust it on the fly, say, oh, hey guys, you want to come over for a game night? Let's play a week, or let's play a few days in between sessions or whatever. But yeah, so it's just fantastic. I'm glad that I was able to record at least a brief couple days of how this looks, how it works, because yeah, obviously this can't stay up forever. It may have a couple weeks left in it before I take it down and we start over. I just love, coming up with rules so I can play with this terrain, because as you know, I don't play Dungeons and Dragons or any other role-playing game. I kind of like doing my own thing, so I'll come up with a game like this, set it all up. Typically, and this is the case for this one, I set it all up first. I create a huge overland area and play with it, or do a whole underground Dwarven Forge layout and play with it. This time I did both, which I thought was just so cool. And come up with the rules for it, and then play with it, and then pack it all up and try something else next time. Who knows? I don't know if I can top myself with just the size of this layout, but there's still a lot of more exciting things to come. But I hope you all enjoyed this. I freaking loved. I was like, how is this really going to play solo with me playing both of these characters? Because you really should play at least 2. As you can see, especially in a bandit raid situation, you need someone to help you out there. Plus, it's kind of sad if you're just playing one character, but I mean, honestly, as long as you're having fun, you could play with as many or as few characters as you'd like. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, folks. I do truly appreciate it. I know the adventures of Dole and Layla, they're not over yet. Just imagine all the crazy hijinks that they're getting into even right now. But until next time, folks, thank you all so much for watching.